on October 26th, you will hear three very special pieces. One, a divertimento string trio written by Ludwig van Beethoven. The other will be Kodály. And the last but not least will be Schubert's B-flat major string trio. We have planned this out in a way that brings this concert a very autumn-like feeling, very intimate. And what better way than with a string trio, which is an ensemble you don't hear often enough, I would say. Even though the repertoire is quite special and quite heartwarming. Beethoven, E-flat major string trio, first sketched in Bonn, his birthplace, finished and written between his move from Bonn to Vienna and a little bit thereafter. Here we have, in a way, a very young Beethoven, fresh, polished. We hear a lot of his predecessors, direct predecessors right before him, which were Haydn and Mozart, which give a very pristine and clean feel to the composition, as opposed to what we hear, for example, in the late string quartets, and which we hear a lot of chromaticism and expansiveness of the form as he loses his hearing, which I think was a blessing in disguise.
Összefogant művekről van szó, amikor tudjuk, hogy az emberek, tehát betakarítás van, nyáron megtermelt javakat betakarítjuk, ugyanúgy a nyáron felgyűlt élményeket is tároljuk, elválasszuk, kiválasszuk, és ilyenkor mindenki kicsit az elmúlás fele tekint. Ugye mindjárt itt van november 1-e, tulajdonképpen ez egy összegző időszak. Mindketten nagyon fiatalon írták, egyiküknek sem volt könnyű élete. Se Beethovennek, se Schubertnek. Schubert nagyon fiatalon meghalt. Ugye az intermezzo amúgy egy ilyen színpadi átrendezést jelent, ugyanúgy a lélekben is megtörténik ugyanez. Tulajdonképpen ráhangolódás a november 1-ére.
Here we have a very clear, beautiful intermezzo, nonchalantly composed, which clearly shows real Hungarian folk music, as opposed to the ersatz Romani music that Brahms and some of the contemporaries of the Viennese school have collected. Last piece on the program is, of course, the famous B-flat major Schubert string trio. He composed two of them, the first one being B-flat major and the second one being E-flat major, which is quite expansive in its form and maybe considered a bit more difficult in terms of the playability of the piece between the violin, viola and cello. But the interesting thing about it is the B-flat major being the first string trio was unfinished. He left it with only the first big movement and then a little bit, maybe I think 27 bars of the second movement, if I'm not mistaken. However, it doesn't take away from the purity and the Mozartian sort of romantic side of Schubert's writing.